And we're live.
We're up, Sue. Look at us. Look at us in our new digs. Even better than last week.
Absolutely.
While everybody's loading on, Jeff, everything still sounds good.
We're just still working
out.
I
can't hear you. Just shake your head.
Yes, everything sounds good.
All right.
All right, great.
Beautiful. Suki, what's going on, babe?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Suki and Scott Show.
Suki, I like our little 2 minutes before the show actually starts because you know what? I don't feel as emotionally connected. I'm very low key before we get into the start of the show.
I think the reality is, you know what? This top of the show is just about us greeting our viewers and telling everybody what the show is about. So let's tell everybody what the show is about.
Suki, here's the thing about this show. Our set is being built as we speak.
I know.
This set is literally being built in real time. We've added a table this week.
Every day there's going to be something new. We added flowers.
We've added flowers. Soup. We've never
had mugs.
We got to get the Suki and Scott mugs out.
Yeah,
here.
we should. We should.
Oh my God. You guys know we have Suki and Scott mugs, right? The show mugs.
Delicious.
Suki, even the vodka tastes better here.
Vodka on the rocks.
Here at Lemore Media Studios in palatial Westchester, New York, ladies and gentlemen. So everybody's loading up. Listen, we are just, Suki, you just said it a few minutes ago.
Yep.
You can't even believe where we've gone in the last 3 weeks to where we are today.
Well, you know, I'm glad you're listening to me finally.
I mean, I do. I listen when you speak. I don't always answer.
You don't come. You know, it's like, you know, it's. I think the women out there will understand that, you know, men, it takes them a minute to figure out where exactly the trajectory of something. Women kind of have a vision before that.
My wife yells at me all the time.
Really?
All the time. She didn't hear a word I said. Did you? No, I did. What I say, I don't know.
It's true. It's true.
She'll test me.
And then you circle back and you do exactly what she said. It's one of those things that men have to figure it out on their own. And then they come to the table. And then look, we have a table built as a result of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Suki and I have moved from our parents' basements to this beautiful table that was just lit. It's being put in. It's not even the correct colors yet, right, Sue? Because am I hearing it's going to be painted? We're going to have our names on the front. The whole deal, right?
I think it's kind of nice right here. I got to tell you, I'm kind of happy with where the digs are.
I just got to sit back and just watch it. I don't even want to do the show now.
I think you should. We
have a great show. Everybody's loading up on the Facebook. Suk, I am so excited about today's show. Saverio Guerra is here. Curb Your Enthusiasm. I've watched every show, every season. I just think it's one of the funniest shows on TV.
Well, I'll take him back to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. How's that? I mean listen,
he has been on so many great shows, Becker, but really in the present, you know, MOCHA Joe. Everybody loves MOCHA Joe.
Yeah, they have to say a couple of curse words in the middle. But we're a family-run station, so we won't go there, right?
And so anyway, Saverio is going to join us. And also we have an amazing group, Pete Mueller and the Kindred Souls are coming up after Saverio. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be, you know, we had on Denny Lane last week from the Moody Blues and Paul McCartney. He's playing at the City Winery this week. And these guys are coming up at the City Winery in February. So it's, you know, everybody seems to be popping in New York now.
I know.
And, you know, we're in full bloom. No more masks. COVID's pretty much gone from not really gone from our lives, but.
No, we're in the endemic phase. Yeah, how's that? We're in the endemic phase.
The post-pandemic phase. Anyway,
in the endemic phase.
Everybody seems to be loading up. So you ready to start the show?
Yeah, I'm ready to start the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Suki and Scott Show coming your way in 3, 2, 1.
The Suki and Scott Show.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling.
It's musical. It's magical.
Suki and Scott, the 7 of Hearts. Woo! Exactly.
This is a sexy show.
Someone's getting some action.
Now, these larger-than-life personalities are on an exciting new journey as they bring you the Suki and Scott Show.
You guys nailed it. You're great. You ask great questions. You listen.
I answered you because I have respect for you guys, and it was a question respectfully put.
The Suki and Scott Show is your one-stop destination for humor.
You like De Niro and Kate Pierce. Counselor.
Entertainment.
Jesse's girl.
Wonderful.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
And optimism.
You guys have such amazing energy.
Ultraviolet light, it gets in there and it just fights the kung flu. Is that right? Okay.
Let's laugh together.
I love you.
The Suki and Scott Show.
That's the best intro for a show I maybe have ever seen.
Really?
Your intro is fantastic.
Yes, indeed, Eric Roberts. The intro's fantastic, Suki. Welcome aboard, everybody. The Suki and Scott Show from our new palatial digs. And Suk, we have really, I got to say, we've grown up here in the business over the last 3
Overnight,
years.
it kind of feels like it really overnight. Thanks to Lemore Media, we've teamed up with a new partner to kind of take this show to the next level. So hopefully we will get to that next level. And you know what? We got to thank all the folks that have been with us all along the way since 2020, since this was just like you saw in a lot of those double boxes there, two of us sitting in our basements.
Gone are the days where I can go downstairs in just my pajamas and turn on the show.
I know.
You know, with my Caddyshack poster behind me. And
Gone are those days.
Now I got an hour commute each way. I got to pay.
It's like a real job.
I got to put in for expenses.
It's a real job. We made it.
We made it. Sir.
Yeah,
we made it.
And if this is as good as it gets, I'm all right with it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't know who to put the expenses in to because nobody's paying me back. But maybe your husband can. I don't know. But ladies and
only the
gentlemen,
people who are working.
Oh my God, we have such an amazing show today. Saverio Guerra is here. If you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, you know him as Mocha Joe. Just want to listen. The interaction between Mocha Joe and Larry David is it's so fantastic. It's everything. It's like, when I used to say Seinfeld is a show about nothing. The arguments are over, a table that doesn't have isn't even, or a scone, whether it's soft or hard.
And it kind of makes sense because everybody knows that Larry David was one of the writers and producers of Seinfeld. So a lot of the nuances of life, and especially coffee. Everybody knows coffee.
So
we need to talk about coffee.
It's so funny. They get into a fight. So Mocha Joe, and he comes up with Latte Larry's right next door. It's called the Spite Store, right? So he with cheaper coffee, and it's so great. So Saverio is going to come on in just a sec, and also coming up later on, Pete Mueller and the Kindred Souls. Great music. Suk, they do a lot of covers, which we love.
Yeah.
So we could sing along.
Fantastic. Or we could just listen to them. Or also, they have a piano that they're gonna
they're playing.
They're playing live for us. So
you and I are
we're gonna hear to entertain.
Suk, listen. Before we get started, I've been watching a lot of Family Feud lately.
I love Family Feud
with Steve Harvey.
Okay. I was going to say, are you doing the reruns or?
Well,
are you...
I used to love it as a kid with what's his name? He used to kiss everybody.
Oh my God! It just came into my head too.
Anybody remember? I forget his name. He was always on Match Game.
Oh my God!
Saverio's probably yelling the name right now. I can't think of his name. The guy from Family Feud. We kiss everybody.
Yes, Richard Dawson. Wow, came to both of us at the same time. Richard Dawson.
But anyway, Steve Harvey has been doing it. And he's great. There have been so many different hosts. So I grabbed the speed round.
Speed round. I always wanted to play it.
I want to see how
top 10 answers.
Yes. No.
Are on the board.
This is just the speed round where they have 25 seconds.
25 seconds.
So I pulled a couple of the questions.
Shoot.
And I have the number 1, number 2, number 3 answers.
Yeah. Number 1, 100 people surveyed.
Right, 100 people. We asked
100 people.
I'm going to give you a couple. I want to see if top of mind first answer is the number 1 answer.
Okay, go.
All right. So here's the first one. So you ready? Name something in a bakery a baker might call his wife. Something in a bakery that a baker might call his wife. A nickname from a bakery, Suki.
What? A nickname from a bakery that somebody might call his wife? What?
All right, you're already
I don't understand the question.
You're already lost. Name something in a bakery that a baker might call his wife.
Why am I not understanding this question?
What products in a bakery would a baker call his wife as a nickname?
Oh, honey. Honey? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Cinnamon buns?
There you go. Cinnamon buns. Is that your answer?
You're talking about a product in a bakery.
All right, ready? We're going to start again.
That question's whack.
Suk, I've been watching Family Feud lately with Steve Harvey.
Let's do it again. Okay.
Suk, I've been watching Family Feud lately with Steve Harvey. Yes, and I used to love the old ones with Richard Dawson. Remember Richard Dawson?
I love Richard Dawson.
Yeah, can't get away with that.
Sometimes when
he
kiss people on the lips was a little freaky.
You can't get away with that today.
Yeah.
Anyway, I pulled a couple of those speed round questions, Suki, and I wanted to see how well you would do in the speed round. 25 seconds on the board. Here we go. You ready? Name something in a bakery a baker might call his wife?
Honey buns?
Honey buns is the number one answer, Suki. 32 people. Cupcake,
Ding, 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 ding.
cupcake, and muffin also would have been
All
accepted.
right, there you go.
Suki, tell me a word. We surveyed 100 people.
Oh,
Tell me a word that rhymes with election.
oh my God, you know what I was going to say?
One word.
Erection.
Erection was the number 2 answer, Suki. Selection was the number 1 answer there. Okay, here we go. See, now you're rolling. Suki, if there was a store that only sold husbands, it was a husband store,
Mhm.
most people would try to buy a husband with what?
Money.
Money was the number 1 answer. Job, personality, and humor.
Yeah.
A little shallow to go with money right off the bat, Sue. But I'll give it to
J-O-B.
you. Here we go.
You got to have a J-O-B if you
Um,
want to be with me. Remember
with
that?
the
No
romance,
romance, just some finance. Remember that song back in the
Got to
day?
have a J-O-B.
If you want to
Also,
be with me.
a warranty was on there, and heart and character. 2
Mm.
people said heart and character. So here we go.
You can see where mine is.
Yeah.
With the recession and everything else. You need money, folks.
In horror movies, name a place teenagers go where there's always a killer on the loose.
Oh my God, they go to the park, the forest, the backyard. They're always, why is everybody in the forest? In the
Cabin,
backyard?
camp, and woods is all
Okay,
the same.
whatever.
Number 1 answer. Suki, give me an occupation that begins with the letter J.
Janitor?
Janitor was the number 1 answer, Suki. Judge, jeweler, jockey, journalist, and juggler.
Journalist, you could be like top 0.
Suki, they put lemons here, Suki, so I could juggle.
Really good.
Here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Other than feet,
This is a foot fetish question?
name something that runs.
Oh my God.
Other than feet, name something that runs.
Like body part?
Name something that runs.
A car.
There you go. Water, toilet was the number 1 answer.
Oh.
Refrigerator, a nose,
Oh, your runny nose.
Panty-
Oh, it has to be a body part.
pantyhose. Doesn't have to be a
Oh.
body
Oh,
part.
it doesn't have to be a body part?
Engine
Okay.
or car was good.
Okay.
Toilet runs, right?
Your toilet runs, yeah.
Got to go in and
That's
jiggle-
why you need the janitor to
jiggle
fix
the
the
handle.
toilet and then make some money.
Guys, great show coming up. Saverio Guerra is here. Mocha Joe from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Pete Mueller and Kindred Souls. You ready for Saverio?
Absolutely.
Let's get him in here. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at Saverio, a little bit of his career, and then we're going to bring him in on the other side. Take a look.
Hey,
There he is,
Saverio!
Wow, you guys were busy.
Happy New Year,
You
Mocha
got new
Joe.
desks, you got flowers, S mugs. I should have brought my S mugs, right? Suki's.
You
know,
should have. We would all been at this
Oh, yeah.
together,
You got-
right?
you don't have
Saverio.
You need a
I'm an
mess mug.
How you guys doing?
Welcome to the show. So nice to have you here. We're such big
Thank you for
fans.
having
and
me. Big time. It looks so nice.
I was telling Scott, I mean, I feel like you came into the studio when we were in a morning show way back in the days, the Buffy days. I feel like you came into Channel 11 back in the days. I feel like we all might have interviewed
Yeah,
you.
that was a bit ago, Buffy.
It was a bit ago. It was a bit ago, but I remember that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Michelle Gellar is coming back with Buffy, isn't she? Another iteration of it?
I heard some iteration of it. I'm not quite sure if Sarah's doing it, but I did hear. Maybe she is. I don't know. Nobody tells me anything. What do I know?
They just send you the script when you're ready.
They just, they hire you. That's what they do, Saverio.
By the way,
They
I
just hire you.
I have to commend you, Scott, because you said Mocha Joe more times than Larry has ever said it during the show, the season.
I love it, man. Hello, Mocha Joe.
Larry Latte.
Listen, Saverio, man, first of all, I have to think that just, getting that part, is that one of those once in a, I mean, I know you've done so many different things, and we'll talk about it, but getting that Mocha Joe, where now you're so recognizable as, Larry's foil there next door in that strip mall. How has that character, that role changed your life? Has it at all?
Yeah, I've been an actor for 35 years, and people, Curb is it's sort of a different thing, and it's like Curb fans are sort of like, it's like a cult, in a good way, but so yeah, it's weird because it's after all those years, it's just sort of you get recognized, and people know me as an actor for various, for specific things, but Curb just changed it all. It's sort of a walk in the door now. Oh, Mocha Joe, Mocha Joe. Or Larry said, Larry emailed me to tell me that his mother-in-law named her dog Mocha Joe, which I thought was cute. So it's that kind of like instantly now people are just sort of, and it seems to go to everywhere I go. I can't sit it if I ask, in a restaurant, tell somebody my table's wobbly, I get all kinds of remarks. But yeah, it's it's interesting because I'm a fan of the show. I watch the show. So for me as an actor, to be on shows that you're actually a fan of is kind of an interesting and fun thing because I watch it and I'm a huge fan of it. So to get to be on it is sort of extra special. When you're on something that you really enjoy and many years when Larry first brought me on in season 7. We did this one episode with the Seinfeld reunion, and he brought the cats of Seinfeld back. And I thought it was a one-off. I came in, I did the episode, and that was it. And I never in my wildest dreams thought he'd bring it back, And then
because it was that good.
Yeah. When he called for season 10, I was like, because people forget I did season 7, and then season 10 didn't happen. There was 8 years in between. Because Larry takes so much time off. So there were 8 years in between season 7 and season 10.
Really?
And so I was all of a sudden I said, out of nowhere, 8 years later, he says, I'm gonna bring Mocha Joe back. And I said, oh, okay. And it started out like I need you for 1 episode, 2 episodes, then it was 3, then it was 4, then it was 5, then I need you for 6, then I need you for 7. And it kept going back and forth. And finally it was like, I need you for all of them. I was like, okay. Are you available? I'm available. You just have to tell me when you want to do it. I might not be
available. I'm available. I'll make myself available.
I'll make myself available. But
now that I know they're coming, they're coming back eventually for season 11. Will we see Mocha Joe? We'll see Mocha Joe there as well.
Yeah, they did. I was on 10. They did 11, and during the sort of a tail end of the pandemic, they did 11, and that was on. And now they're currently shooting season 12 right now. Yeah. So, people ask me all the time. The only thing I say to people is Mocha Joe going back? It's my second biggest question is, when is Mocha Joe coming back? And I tell everybody the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back, and I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't come back. It's Larry's, if he got a great idea and that character's a part of it, it's great. And if he doesn't, it's everybody thinks I'm on it anyway. So, even when I'm not on it, my agent asked me once how many episodes I did. I was like, you're my agent. You don't know how many episodes I've done? Like, I did 1 episode in season 7, and my agent was like, how many did you do this year? I said 1. But everybody, it appeared that I was on the whole season for some strange reason because Larry, I don't know. I just work so well with Larry, and I love working with him. So what it
reminds me of? Mocha Joe reminds me of like back in the Seinfeld days, the soup Nazi. That character that has tentacles.
Yeah.
Like beyond the actual show. Like not beyond the show, but like the tentacles of like being a character that intrinsically struck a chord with the audience and then continues
Right.
to be this person. I feel like Mocha Joe is that continuation of Larry's
that's what people
nemesis.
say. You know, it's just weird. It's like for some strange reason that character made an impression. I mean, he made an impression in season 7 enough for Larry to write a whole season about him in season 10. So I mean, you know, which I thought was really, you know, I was honored to do it because when he came to me with what they were going to do in season 10, and it was a big deal, and I thought, wow, he's going to let that character sort of, I mean, for lack of a better term, you know, carry, you know, the A storyline of that season. So it was
amazing.
It was a big deal in terms of like, oh, I kept saying to him, "Is this funny? Is it funny?" He goes, "Yeah, it's funny. Stop worrying about it. It's good." I was like,
And it's,
are you
you know
sure?
what? It's so great, the minutia of the arguments, like the
Yeah.
wobbly table, you know, because everybody, the stuff you guys argue about, everybody goes through, right? So we all relate to it. And I was watching the other day, just looking at some of your old stuff when you guys were going back and forth with the scones. And you're like, that's a scone, Larry. And he's like, it's a little soft, Mocha Joe. It's a little soft. And you guys just going back. It's great.
No, but because it's improvised, you know, the show is improvised. So there's, you know, there's no dialogue, there's no script. So we're working off each other and just, you know, it's one of my favorite gigs as an actor in all the years I've been working because I get to go in there and fully create this character and you know, with no background. You know, you just get to kind of determine who this person is and go with it is kind of freeing and really great, you know, and Larry's so supportive of that. So it's a great thing to be a part of.
I've heard that before where you know when you're shooting Curb, it's like, you know, everything is pretty much improvised. And I gotta imagine that has to be daunting in some way creatively, because there you are like shooting with the creator of the show, also the writer of the show, and the person who's, you know, kind of creatively navigating the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Is that daunting, or is that freeing in a way? Because when you're working with that person, you get that approval right away, and then the vibe is there, and then you feed off of each other, and then you know it's good. Or is it more of a mental process?
Yeah, it's just I mean, it's not in any way nerve-wracking to me. I mean, I love it, but I think it's you just get in there and you start, you know, you do the scenes. All the scenes are written out. There's a script, there's a story. It's all structured. It's just that when you get to a scene, not like in a regular script where you'd have the characters dialogue, it's just, you know, Larry goes into Mocha Joe's and sees Mocha Joe after all these years. And then, you know, they have in mind what they want to happen, what they need. Like they may say, you know, look, we need you at some point to insult Larry during the scene.
Yeah.
You know, so like that. So it's all structured. It's not like a free-for-all in terms of where the story's going, but they don't really tell you what to say. I mean, we have writers who once in a while say, hey, who add a line to say this would be funny, or maybe you could say that back. But for the most part, it's just, you know, Larry coming in and going, hey, Mocha Joe, and me going, hey, Larry, hey, how you doing? And then I'll have this going, all right, it's going a little soft. You know, what do you mean it's soft, man? You know, it just sort of goes, and then you kind of structure it and keep doing it, and then you could see in Larry's eyes. Larry knows. You can almost see him editing. You know what's going to stay and what's going to go immediately if you look at him. You just know, and he's great about it. He's just sort of like, that's great. Keep that. Don't say that. Cut that. Don't tell me to F off yet. I save it for later.
That is amazing. Don't tell me to F off yet.
Don't give me the finger now. Do it later. I was like, all right, you know. You know, sometimes I'll be doing it. He'll be like, don't worry about this. I'm going to cut here anyway. Don't worry. We're going away. Like, it's not going to go this long. It's going to be a bit, and then it's going to go. So he's so brilliant with it. And he's right in his, you know, in his pocket where he's supposed to be. He's really, really brilliant in terms of, you know, his mind and what he wants it to be. But I was just felt blessed to be a part of it. I always feel blessed if I get the call to go do it because, it's just a fun thing to do. And I met Larry like 30 something years ago on the first pilot I ever did. His wife at the time, Lori David, produced the first television pilot I ever was on for Fox.
Wow. What was it?
It was a pilot called, I believe it was called Red Hook or Sammy and Friends. I'm not sure what the title they went with. It was a pilot, and they had the network at the time. Seinfeld, I believe, was just becoming a hit, and the network asked Larry to come down and take a look at it. And while we were shooting that night, and Larry came down, and then he was, you know, giving me lines to say backstage, and that's when I first met him. And then all those years later, I had never worked with him. I'd see him around town, like at parties and stuff, but we were never like friends or anything. I just knew him, and we worked. And then all of a sudden, season 7 came the way it normally comes. It wasn't like I had finished doing Becker, and my agent called and said, "You want to audition for Curb Your Enthusiasm?" And I was like, "Yeah, I love the show. I'd love to." And so it just came about a regular actor way. And I went up there. When I walked into the room, there was everybody from Saturday Night Live was there. All these, stand-up comics were there, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not getting this. They're going to give this to so-and-so on Saturday Night Live, or they're going to give this to this stand-up comic." And then they came out and they gave me a little piece of paper that said, "You're the coffee guy on the lot, and Larry did you a favor. He didn't tip you." And that's it. That's all they gave you. And then we went in the room, and they had a coffee cart, and Larry was there, and we just did the improvisations, started improvising it. And I got to create that character right there, like right there in the room, just be the coffee guy who was pissed off that he didn't tip me, and run with it. And that was it. And I went home, and they said, "Yeah, they want me to do it." I said, "Okay." So I went in and I did it. And we like I said, I did it. It was so much fun. But I went, "Oh, what a great! I did it. I got to be on it, because I was a fan." And then all these years later, to really cement it now, which is like now it's odd because, like you say, it's a weird thing. Anywhere I go, it's a Mocha Joe thing. It's like it's going to be on my
perfect casting, man.
I mean, I feel like you made it when you have your own tagline, right? You know what I mean? You got your own tagline.
I know. We got the Happy New Year. We got your band.
Mojo.
Get out, Larry. Your band.
Your band.
I love it. Saverio, before I want to talk about Becker for a sec, because I'm sure Ted Danson was ecstatic to see you when you showed up on the set of Curb.
We did.
But this was such a great show, and I mean, you look at the cast, and of course, I mean, just Ted Danson blows it away. When you look back on your time at Becker, how much did that help you evolve as like a sitcom actor, being on that show, as a steady for a couple of years?
Wow. Yeah, we did 5 seasons. So we were there 5 seasons. Well, we had 5, and then like 5.5, then we did a little half a season, and then they didn't continue. But so yeah, it was a really successful show, and it was I grew up watching sitcoms, so I grew up watching Ted on Cheers, and Henry Winkler on Happy Days, which was one of my big influences. Was Henry Winkler. He was one of the reasons I wanted to be an actor. Seeing his portrayal, seeing his portrayal as Arthur Fonzarelli, I was like, this I want to do.
This is it.
And then getting on Becker and working with Ted, I was like, oh my God, it's like I one thing I do now that I'm older, that I'm getting older, that I didn't do then, and I wish I had done more of it, but I just didn't. Where I came from, you didn't kind of make a big stink about what you were doing. You didn't kind of go, like, I wasn't aware at the moment that what I was working on was kind of great and special. I thought sort of acknowledging that was being sort of egotistical about it, but not that it wasn't. But I just thought, now I look back at in my 50s and I go, oh wow, what a great thing. Oh, that was a great thing when I was doing that. Like, now I'm so appreciative that I got to be a part of Curb. And I mean, I got to work with Ted Danson for 5 seasons, and I adored him and still do. And it was so fun when Larry told me I was going to team back up with Ted on Curb. I just, and so, it's like a full circle thing. And now I'm just so appreciative of it, and go, wow, that's kind of a cool, the way that all kind of worked out. So, but, instead
it's like that actor from Everything Everywhere All at Once, actor Ke Huy Quan, I believe.
Nicely said.
When he gave his Golden Globe speech, when he said that, there's Steven Spielberg, there he is, a Temple of Doom young kid, and he had this like incredible moment where he had
wrong way
project, right? And then for years, like nothing happened, and then all of a sudden here he is again.
Right.
It must be like moments, of those, like you said, when you reflect back upon your life, when you see those moments of goodness and greatness that you didn't even realize the process that you were having. And then now when you get it again, like you said with Curb, it's this incredible 360 moment of, oh yeah, I see this now, and I'm going to enjoy it.
That's exactly right. I was having this conversation with my daughter. I have a 16-year-old, and I was like, look, try to be more, try to, when you're actually in the moment, doing something, try to say, wow, this is appreciated. Look at it now. Like I never thought, I never even thought, like, not in a mean way. I just never thought, oh, I'm working with Ted Danson. To me, I was an actor. I was doing my job. And I come from, do your job, and then you step back a little bit and go, wow, Ted's an amazing actor. I grew up watching that Thursday night lineup on NBC, Cheers, and
Cheers,
and here I am, working with him for 5 seasons and having the best time. And like I said, at the time, I always put my head down and do my job. And it took me to, turn 58 years old to realize, oh, that was a cool moment. Or
Do you my favorite was always the Tuesday night lineup on ABC was Happy Days.
Happy Days,
Laverne and Shirley, Three's Company, and then Too Close for Comfort rounded it off with
Ted Knight. I'll tell you a little story. Now, on Becker, obviously I played his character Bob. And so what I did was, my appreciation for all those great sitcom characters is I always wore a leather jacket. And that was I think that was
Henry Winkler.
That was my honor to Arthur Fonzarelli. That was my tribute to Henry Winkler. I never took it off on the show. And then or Lenny and Squiggy, when they go, hello, every time they walk in.
Ladies.
Hello, ladies, whatever it was. My entrances on Becker was sort of tribute to Michael McKean and David on Lenny and Squiggy. I saw Henry Winkler at a party one time, and I told him, he came towards me and said something very nice to me. He complimented me on my work on Becker or something like that. And I told him, you're the reason I became an actor. And he was like, that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
Aw.
Yeah, he's such a
I bet you he meant every bit of it.
He was the man.
He's
always getting the chicks, Saverio.
He's a sweet man.
Listen, in looking through, I did a deep dive into his Instagram page, Suk, as I normally do. And what I didn't know was, when I found out, this guy's he's a drummer. He loves playing the drums.
Yeah. You could be a professional.
Now, I want to just take a look. I pulled off a little clip of you playing, Saverio.
That'd be me being decent. You're not have me rehearsing.
Take a look at this, and then we'll talk about it. Watch.
Oh, that was me. That was me just checking the sound in the room. But
you know who you look like? You know who you look? What actor you look like playing the drums?
Oh,
you looked a little like
Adam Sandler.
No, Andy Garcia.
Oh, geez, I wish.
Saying the right name?
Yeah, Andy Garcia. I thought he looked like Adam Sandler.
All right. Well, it's Adam Sandler, Andy Garcia.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Somewhere in the middle, maybe.
But then again, I can't see the monitor very clearly right now, so don't worry about it.
Music was my first. It's still my love. I play all the time. Music was my first love, but I became an actor because Bruce Springsteen already had a drummer. So I figured, I can't play with Springsteen, so and that was pretty much it. But I wasn't really good enough. I was a decent drummer, but I really wanted to be a jazz drummer, and I knew I did the work that I would need to put in to be that good. And I said, forget that.
Wow, jazz drummers. What were some of the people that you looked up to?
Oh my God, Art Blakely, those guys, Buddy Rich. I mean, just all those great jazz drummers. I mean, I love rock and roll. I play rock and roll, but I mean, I don't know. Acting always had the.
You're not putting on some Rush and then going coming like Neil Peart, like
a little Neil Peart. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I wish I was as good as those guys. But the drumming and my music is what I do for me. Like it's never been anything that I've, I never, for some weird reason, I was like, what, I'll be an actor. But I want to keep the music pure. I want to the drumming's for me. I get it's my meditation. I don't.
I like that.
I go down in the room and I bang on the drums.
if you're ever tired when you're driving and you're starting to, your eyes are starting to get heavy, Suk, you put on
Rush.
Tom Sawyer.
You put on anything
and you
Rush.
just air drum to and it wakes you right up. Keeps you awake.
Let me tell you something. The day I heard Neil Peart died, a part of my youth went out the door. Like honestly, I was like, oh my God, so many summer nights listening to Rush out in the backyard with my friends from Staten Island. I mean, so many.
I spent half my life with the headphones on trying to figure out
headphones.
trying to figure out down. How does he do that? How is he doing that?
Genius.
Saverio, listen, before we go, can you give me one in MOCHA Joe character? Happy New Year, Suki and Scott. Just give me one of those in MOCHA Joe. Go ahead.
Happy New Year, Suki and Scott.
That's the voice.
I love it.
Happy New Year, Suki.
I love you.
I love it. Saverio, thank you so much, man. Listen,
thank you guys for having me. It was such a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Big fans.
Can't
big
wait
fans,
for the new
Saverio.
season, bud. Thank you so much, pal.
Thanks so much. See you guys soon. Have a beautiful day.
Absolutely.
Take care, my man.
Thank
you, buddy. It's so good.
So good. And what a crazy career. I mean, like, we were putting up, we just touched on 2 major shows that he was on, but literally, if you look up what Severio does, there's so much.
He was in Sleepers.
That's what I'm saying.
With De Niro and Brad Pitt.
I was going to say, A Boy from Brooklyn, with De Niro. That's like, the holy grail right there.
So sometimes he looks a little like De Niro, too.
A young De Niro. I was thinking Raging Bull De Niro, like a young De Niro.
Listen, so we continue on, Suki, here in our new set. By the way, hope everybody likes the new setup. Like we said, my mother, she had enough, Suk. She was tired of making me lunch and me just sitting downstairs all day.
Yeah.
And your husband, he does a lot of cleaning in the kitchen, so you had to get out of there.
I know.
And,
but you know what? This is the next
are.
iteration, and we're happy that you guys can join us because the great guests, the great musical guests, and all the nostalgia that we love and that we grew up on, right here, you can find it on the Suki and Scott Show.
Suki, something in a bakery, a baker might call his wife
Honey Buns.
Honey Buns. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Mueller and the Kindred Souls are coming up next. Pete's got an album later on this year. The Kindred Souls have an album coming up in the spring. We're going to talk. They're going to play. We're going to sing. We're going to dance. We're going to do it all. Take a look at Pete Mueller and the Kindred Souls, and we'll bring them in on the other side. Watch.
They left before the sun came up that day. They just drove off and left it all behind them. Where were they going without ever knowing the way? Anyone could see the road that they walk on is paved in gold. It's always summer, they'll never get cold, they'll never get hungry, they'll never get old and gray. You could see the shadows wandering off somewhere. They won't make it home, but they really don't care. They wanted the highway, they're happy there today.
Oh, they say that the road.
Hey, honey buns.
It took me a minute to get that, but I got it. I finally got it. I was like, what? Anyway.
Guys, give me an occupation that begins with J.
Jailer.
Ooh, good.
Jailer.
Nice.
Janitor.
Judge.
Janitor was the
Janitor number one.
number one answer. I love it. How you guys doing? Everybody's the two, they're so far away, Suk. I got to look over here.
No, they look great. You're so far away, but so close home.
Ah, there you go.
That's right.
Where are you guys right now?
We are at Power Station in New York City.
I love it.
53rd Street.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. The Power Station.
And can everybody introduce themselves so our audience gets to know everybody?
Yeah.
Sure, go for it.
I'm Missy Saltero.
My name is John Hooley.
And I'm Martha McDonald.
And I'm Pete
All right.
Mueller. And we're the Kindred Souls.
There you go. Pete Mueller and the Kindred Souls, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right.
Guys, listen, I've been, going through some stuff, listening to a lot of music. Pete, you got an album coming out later this year, right? Tell us about that one.
Indeed, I've been down in Memphis, actually, recording in a really different way. That's my 6th original record. It's coming out later this year. We are in the process of recording and mixing. So if everything comes out right, yeah, I think later in the year we'll get it. No idea what it'll be called, but I'm super excited about it. It's a bit of a departure. And
I love it.
Why don't you
our
just
band,
call
this
it
band,
Hard
the Souls, is going to come out with a cover record in about 3 months. That's all recorded and done. It's called Hello Outside.
Hello outside. Wait, when you say covers, like, are you doing?
What are we talking about?
Yeah, cover songs, and how do you pick them?
You know that it's we put our own spin on it, and we, if we have a chance, maybe we'll do one for you. But I have a side project. I do a crossword contest in the Washington Post, and the answer is always a band or a song. And we all learn a band or a song. I've been doing this for quite a few years, and then the ones that come out really fun, we put on a record.
I love that is really cool. But I also love the Kindred Spirit. How'd you come up with Kindred Spirits? Is
Kindred
it just
Souls?
Kindred Souls. I'm sorry, Kindred Souls.
Thanks, Scott.
You know that is not the first time we've been called the Kindred Spirits.
Sorry.
And we drink a lot. So there's tequila, there's whiskey, it's, you know.
Thank you.
We've been introduced on stage as Tom Mullen and the Kindred Spirits. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh man, I wouldn't do that. I just did it on TV, but I will. The Kindred Souls. So is it the music philosophy that brings you all together, or have you all worked together in different projects and had a vibe with each other and said, hey, let's bring this all together and create new music?
So I met Missy maybe 12 years ago. We had mutual friends who were getting married, and there was a rehearsal dinner, and they said, you guys should play a song together.
Oh, wow.
We did. And all of a sudden we were like, oh yeah, we need to keep collaborating. And then John, I met 5 years ago when I was looking for a sax player to jam with, and he played sax with me, and then somehow guitar. And now he plays a whole bunch of instruments in the band. I can't name them all. We'll run out of time.
Wow.
But he does our harmony arranging and all that. And then Martha joined 3 years ago, something like that.
Something like that. Mm-hmm.
And then she left us. Can you believe it? She was on Broadway in the Dylan musical, Girl from the North Country. So we had Aubrey Richmond fill in. Yeah, so she was great. And then that closed, and so we got her back, which is awesome.
Okay.
I love. Listen, anytime I go to Nashville with my friends and we're in all the bars or watching all the people, anytime there's somebody with a violin, I get excited. I know they're going to play "Devil Went Down to Georgia."
No.
I know that's one. And it's usually always now it's always a beautiful woman who plays the violin, and they play it. It's insane. It's an electric violin. But what's the? I always ask this question to people who come on the show. We've had hundreds of guests and musical acts. Mm-hmm. What's the one cover song you guys would do if you were on that American Idol type show and you had to sing one song for $1 million? Which is the one you're going to go to?
Ooh, as a band.
Yeah, as a band.
Wow. Probably like a Fleetwood Mac song or something.
Oh, wow.
Well, something we know. I would say
We know. Oh, Rebel Girl. Oh, out of our songs. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Rebel Girl. Or
which is the one you would do for $1 million?
For $1 million. We have to give this. We have to concur on the answer.
Wow.
I think Won't Back Down would be a good choice.
Won't Back Down would be good.
Won't Back Down. Tom Petty.
That's right.
Yeah.
Light it up, baby. Light it up.
All right. Let's do it.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. I'll stand my ground. And I won't back down. I won't back down.
Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. stand my ground, and I won't back down.
Well, I know what's right. I got just one life in a world that keeps on pushing me around. Stand my ground, and I won't back down. I won't back down.
Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out.
I won't back down.
Hey, I'm gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down.
Why?
I won't back down.
Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out.
I won't back down. Well, I won't back down.
No, I won't back down.
You can
Stand me up at the gates of hell.
but I won't back down.
Wow, that was amazing.
Man, I think you
Yeah.
guys just won $1 million.
You won $1 million and you made Tom Petty proud. Yes. You get $1 million. You get $1 million.
We're going to Disneyland.
Damn. Very
We
good.
knew
guys.
it. We knew it would work.
That I'll tell you, that really it came through beautifully. like,
Beautifully.
perfect
I
here,
mean,
too.
the heart. You guys are just wow.
Tell the
Thank
folks
you.
at Power Station, I'd like a couple pictures up there on the wall maybe next time.
I know, right? This is like the one
do some
corner
puppets.
behind the
Behind the
shadow
shadow,
puppets. Shadow puppets. Would that work?
It all looks good. It all looks
It's so
good.
funny.
Just kidding.
How long have you guys been playing together?
About 20 minutes on your show.
And you're that good.
Beautiful.
Geniuses.
Genius.
Geniuses.
I guess it's a few years since we
Yeah.
formed the Souls, maybe 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Before that, we had a full band, a 7-piece band with bass, drums, guitar, and Missy was singing, not playing any percussion. And then at some point, we had the idea to get Missy, who was an amazing tap dancer when she was 2, to start playing percussion and drums. She started on the cajon, and then we developed that into pretty much a quasi sort of drum set and made a smaller 4-piece band, 2 women, 2 men, vocal harmony, and acoustic instrument based.
And how would you define your sound? Because it feels very like rock. I don't even know. I'm not.
I'm going to turn that one over to Missy because she coined the phrase.
Oh, well, John and I coined it together.
Okay.
It was like, we're kind of like Americana soul, but then we came up with this new term, ADM, which is Americana dance music instead of EDM, which is electronic dance music. So.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I
It
like that.
used to be Americana with a rock soul vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Guys, amazingly enough, we have footage of Missy tap dancing when she was 2 years old. Guys,
Oh my God.
okay, I'm calling bullshit.
No, just kidding. Listen, we talked to your mother, and we
I
talked to your
tried,
family.
Missy. I tried.
You guys are missing seeing her on the cajon, seeing her sing.
That's true.
Yeah.
On
I
my
love
drums right now, but.
You guys are in the New York area this weekend, right? So Friday, tomorrow, you're at Crossroads in Garwood, New Jersey.
That's right. That's right. And on Sunday night, we're in the main room at City Winery with Connie Maroulis as well at American Idol finalist.
You know what? I was texting. I don't want to name drop, but
We
I
don't
was
wanna-
texting with him yesterday.
Wow.
And he said he was real excited to have you guys come. We love Constantine, you know, Rock of Ages, the whole deal. But yeah, so you're opening up City Winery. That's on Sunday.
And also
Crossroads and Garwood on
Garfield.
Friday. Garwood.
Garwood on Friday night, 8 o'clock.
Wait,
I'm messing up.
Suki's going to see Pete Keller and the Kindred Spirits.
Yes, and in Garfield, New Jersey.
Garfield, Connecticut.
Can you tell I'm not from Jersey? There's only a couple of towns I know, and I just spit it out like I know it, but I don't.
It's so funny. You guys want to do another one? You want to do an original?
Yeah, we'd love to. Do you want to do Let You In?
Let's do Let You In.
Yeah, so you got to hear Misty sing. So we're gonna do a duet, and
Nice. Light it up,
we'll play all afternoon. Of course, even
Pete.
if you're off air, we'll just keep going here. But,
Keep going. I
this
love
was
Just curiosity. What was the song? I mean, how did you write the song? What was it all about? I mean, I'd love to know all that too.
I'll tell you the story.
Yeah, tell you what's
Yes.
the story. Or...
Well, we'll tell you the story via song.
There you go. This is the story.
Well, I was hanging out in a mountain bar, minding my own business, when I felt your presence. I looked up to see your caramel-colored eyes and all that hair, and those feelings that I said I'd never have again started coalescing. But the thought of falling hard and getting scarred made me so scared, and I just wanna hide. I can't get this close to you. Crawl back inside, but that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let go my pride, go out on a limb. I'm gonna let you in.
6 months of flirting till we were certain that we should try this. After drinking a few double nut browns in that same bar. Now I'm thinking about you all the time, can't get you off my mind. I won't deny it. Yeah, I'm seeing all the signs, but I gotta draw a line before this goes too far. And I just wanna hide. I can't get this close to you. Crawl back inside, but that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let go of my pride, go out on a limb. Yeah, I'm gonna let you in. I'm gonna let you in.
I didn't get a lot of love growing up. Maybe it holds me.
And now you're saying that you know it in your gut, that we should start a family. And girl, I just wanna hide, run so far away from you.
Grow back inside, but that's not what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna let go of my pride, go out on a limb. Yeah, I'm gonna let you in.
And I just wanna hide, run so far away from you.
Crawl back inside, but that's not what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna let go my pride, go out on a limb.
I'm ready to try, baby, let's begin.
I'm gonna let you in.
I'm gonna let you in. I'm gonna let you in.
I mean, you just don't even hear harmonies like that anymore. Like, you know, it's so reminiscent of the 70s. And, you know, like, I don't know why I was thinking about that. Probably because David Crosby just, you know, passed away this week. And so been listening to a lot of old music.
You know what I could hear you guys doing? Do you guys ever do Our House is a Very, Very, Very Fine House? You know that one?
Oh, yeah.
We did Teach Your Children.
We did Teach Your Children.
Oh,
you know what? Give me 30 seconds of that. Teach Your Children.
That'd be awesome.
Do you guys remember it?
I love putting you guys on the spot.
We're on the road, must have a code that you can live by. And so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you they would cry, so just look at them and sigh. And you know they love you.
Beautiful.
Very nice, guys. Very nice.
You know,
guys
it's
are,
David Crosby.
Very talented. Listen, when people want to find you to hear your music, where can they go?
I think the best place right now, PeteMuller.com.
Okay.
Pete Muller Music on Instagram. We got Kindred Souls on Instagram as well. But PeteMuller.com is probably the easiest on the web, and it'll point you to everything.
Yep.
Everything.
And we hope to see you guys. Come out and see us. And
City
thank you so
Winery,
much for having me on your
Oh,
show.
We really have to.
You can knock back a couple of brewskis. What do you think?
Sure, I'm on dry January, but you know, there's always vodka in a cup somewhere.
Vodka February, right? And listen, when you guys have your new stuff coming out, the Kindred Souls, the Hello Outside, and Pete, you guys come back, man. When those albums are out and
So
the people can download, come back. We'll do some more.
You know, we will. We would love to do that. That's awesome. And you know, we came out with stuff last year too, so they can check that out now. But we'll come out with Hello Outside and be back on your show. We had a lot of fun with you.
So
I love it.
I love the fact that you're like, hey, play something new. Cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I mean, it's
We're all about the music. It's a free flow. We sing, we dance, we do a Suki. I sing to her all day long when we're not on the air.
We're kind of stuck in the 70s, Pete, to tell you the truth. We're stuck when it comes to music. So, you know, so you're right up on our wheelhouse.
Golden era.
Oh man, you should hear. We just did we just learned a cover of the Gordon Lightfoot tune, Sundown.
Oh wow.
Sundown.
Which
yeah.
Sundown?
Oh, Sundown.
Yeah.
All right, give me 30 and then we're gonna go.
Oh my God, he's like a terrible director. Give me 30. Give me 10.
Sundown, I think it's go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Just do the chorus.
I can see you lying back in a satin dress in a room where you do what you don't confess. Sundown, you better take care. If I find you've been creeping around our backstairs.
Sundown, you better take care. If I find you've been creeping round my backstairs.
Woo!
Nice. Just so you guys know, the first song I learned on the electric guitar when I was 10, Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Thank you very much.
Oh, indeed. That's a great one too. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Guys, this is like way before me.
Way before me.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Absolute pleasure. Crossroads in Garwood, City Winery opening for Constantine Maroulis on Sunday. Busy weekend for you guys. Good luck and knock 'em dead. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Scott and Suki. We had a blast.
We had a blast meeting you too. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. And keep on tapping.
That's right.
All right.
I love it. So, wow, so talented, right?
What? I mean, you never hear harmonies like that anymore. I mean, it's just, you know, that's how you know the mark of a good musician. And trust me, we've interviewed so many. The ones that just kind of come out here and just do it and effortlessly like they just did, I mean, you just know that, it's from the heart, it's the real deal, and it's their passion.
Listen, hope you guys enjoy the new setup. We'll have, I'm sure, new things as we go along. Sue, because I think this is our logo now, right?
I love it. I love
it. This is it. Suki and Scott show. Dude, we're going to taking the world by storm, Sue. We always knew it would happen. It's just a slow burn. That's all. It's a slow, simmering burn.
He finally listened to me. So this is why we're here.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We'll repost this later on. We love you. Thank you so much. Share the show.
The Suki and Scott Show.
Oh, baby, we are feeling good today.
Multi-Emmy award-winning co-hosts Sukanya Krishnan and Scott Stanford captivate viewers with their infectious personalities.
Everybody go hotel, motel. What you gonna do today?
Hey, what?
And unmatched chemistry.
An Irish accent.
Suki, this is a Belgian accent. Don't you know your Belgian accent?
I do not.
Okay,
My clock is ticking. It's not like ticking like tick. It's ticking like this.
It's like, woo, it's getting cold in here.
Suki and Scott are hanging out with celebrities.
That's the best intro for a show I maybe have ever seen.
He came out and his pants fell down. This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
You guys are talented amongst your own selves.
That's why this is a sexy show. You know what I mean?
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
We'll be right back.
Elite comedians.
Suki and Scott and Wayne. Got a big heart, Scott.
And entertainers from all four corners of the world. Suki and Scott share moments that make you think.
I just ate 2 grapefruits, and nothing sexual about what happened here, I gotta tell you.
Uplifting stories that inspire.
No matter how hard life gets or what you go through, you can always make it through.
And they'll make you smile.
Humpback, and they're organic.
I love when you say tahini. It really gets me going.
Now, more than ever, the world needs laughter.
You just slip out the back, Jack.
I don't know. It would be so fun to see your face at my door.
Suki and Scott are ready. Let's laugh together. The Suki and Scott Show.
Where happiness lives.
Do I give a thumbs up?
Go.